Yep, it's time to ask that question once again, because it's important now more than ever. Most skiers remember a time before 2008 when slopes were filled with passionate skiers and experienced locals who made sure every minute of their time spent on the slopes was made worth it. Cable cars weren't jam-packed, and queuing lines on a bad day were only an hour or two long. But with the introduction of mega passes like Ikon and Epic, overcrowding has become the norm. Are mega passes truly the future of skiing? Or is this going to be the death of the sport? Let's find out. There are a few moments in history that have arguably shaped the skiing industry into what it is today, like Minnie Dole establishing the National Ski Patrol and Doppelmayr constructing the world's first detachable quad. But some argue that none have been as influential and iconic as the introduction of global mega passes like Epic and Ikon. Many people state that because of such global passes, winter sports and skiing have gone from family-friendly local ski resort fun to a billion-dollar industry over the past 20 years. And at the heart of it lie two companies, Vail and Altera. These two winter sports giants had arguably revolutionized the world of skiing with the introduction of their global mega passes, but are now under intense scrutiny and fire by the skiing community for becoming a duopoly and for destroying the sport with corporate greed. To understand how these mega passes reshape the industry, we have to come to the question of how they work in the first place. To answer this question, we have to go back to 2008, when Vail first introduced their global ski pass, Epic. In a time when people were paying $200 a day to access one mountain, Vail brought forward a package that just couldn't be ignored. They introduced ski passes, which granted access to 6 places with no blackout dates, which means that it was open to skiers even on holidays for just $580. But here's the kicker. This wasn't the rate one had to pay per day, it was a seasonal pass. At a time when seasonal passes to just one mountain cost over $1,500, getting access to 6 mountains for an entire ski season at just $580 was a legendary offer. Vail had capitalized on an opportunity that was hiding in plain sight. They had realized that people just aren't satisfied with their local ski resort anymore, as they probably see their friends and family skiing at legendary locations across the Northwest and Europe, and paying exorbitant rates for a single ski resort became less and less appealing to the average skier. In comes Vail with their new ski pass. They offered seasonal access to locations across the Northern Hemisphere. This brought in several customers from around the globe. People realized that if a resort next to them fell under the Epic Pass, they could just buy the Epic Pass instead of the seasonal resort pass and enjoy the same benefits, if not some more. But you might be asking yourself, how did companies like Vail and Altera make a profit off such a scheme? Well, the answer is more ingenious than you think. Vail and Altera realized with their passes. They could direct the traffic towards resorts owned by them, which in turn created this feedback loop where customers who bought the Vail Pass went to a resort owned by them and availed all the services provided by them locally, including ski rentals, stays, pickups, drops, etc. Even the food you ate at the restaurants was priced and sold by these companies. And trust me, when you sell cheeseburgers at $20, you're bound to make a profit. To drive the point home, more often than not every skier has the time or money to go visit every single location made available to them via these mega passes. To really make your money back, you'd have to ski at least 4 to 5 days, which many people can't. So the company ends up making a profit off people's short ski trips as well. There are numerous financial back channels that have been created and exploited by these mega passes, and people are starting to wake up to these scams. Both Vail and Altera are becoming universally hated symbols for profiteering from the sport to the point of making it unbearable. Although the anger against these companies is universal, the sales of mega passes like Epic, Ikon, and Mountain Collective have been steadily increasing, with Vail even reporting that sales have increased by 95% since 2020. So we can see that although the idea of a relaxing ski vacation is becoming more distant, people are still buying these passes. But here's where the twist comes in. These mega passes have created such a profit for these large corporations that they have acquired over 50% of all ski resorts. And now, they have steadily increased prices as these companies hold a monopoly over the ski industry. Hal Singer, an economist and professor at the University of Utah, states that the rapid decentralization of ski resorts from independent owners to large, faceless corporations has steadily reduced the incentives to maintain and improve customer and employee satisfaction. Skiing was once a sport that was largely dependent on the amount of snowfall that a mountain got. But now these corporations are able to make a large profit well before the ski season even begins with their pre-sale offers on the ski passes, which consistently get higher the closer it is to ski season. This ensures that a large crowd is drawn in regardless of what the weather is on a slope on a certain day, causing the slopes to get overcrowded even when there is absolutely no snow to ski on. These corporations, like Vail, have an assurance regarding the number of customers that will end up coming to the resort because of these pre-sales. Since they already make over 75% of their revenue from these advanced sales, all they have to worry about is having all the necessary services at their resorts, like ski classes, working chairlifts, food, water, and other services, on which they also make a profit by overcharging, as the stores and services are also owned by them. As we said earlier, looking at the pricing strategies of these passes, you understand why everyone goes for the seasonal pass. Resorts that are owned by corporations like Vail and Alterra charge a very high amount for a day ticket at their own resorts. This, in turn, makes their seasonal pass look highly affordable and very attractive to those who can't afford day tickets 2 or 3 days in a row. Let's compare. A seasonal Epic pass allows you to ski an unlimited number of days per head for nearly $1,000, but a single-day ticket costs a crazy $327. Prices of the day ticket have gone from $90 to this rate over the past decade, a 263% increase. You can see why people get the pass now. This is also putting indirect pressure on the local housing economy. Many of those who live and work in the town where these resorts are located are finding it consistently tougher to find affordable housing as these industries build more and more hotels and lodges to accommodate the ever-growing number of customers coming to ski and snowboard on the mountain slopes, which has caused the value of housing property to skyrocket. Although most properties are left vacant when it isn't ski season. Many employees working in these resorts have been subject to low wages and low-quality living conditions, with some having to split a room 3 ways. This has caused many of the workers at large corporation-owned ski resorts to go on strike or unionize, which is starting to put the pressure on these large corporations. Nonetheless, the sport, as it stands, is still being exploited by these corporations. The mega passes have been the cause of the slow death of the sport, as many people have to compete with their fellow skiers for a chance to ski, which was never an issue before. Corporations like Vail and Alterra need to take a note out of Entabeni Systems' book. Their own mega pass, the Indy Pass, sets itself apart. It only allows 2 days of access to resorts, where 85% of the revenue made on passes is divested back to the resorts in a ratio between their average daily ticket price and the amount of visits they get on that pass. It's time for mega corporations to take accountability and give the sport back to the people.